All right, we will call this June 23rd, 2020 meeting of the Lawrence County Commissioners to order. Would all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a brief moment of silence. Chris, would you lead us in the pledge?
Sure. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All please remain standing for a brief moment of silence. Thank you. Chris, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel,
Here.
Commissioner Vogler,
Here.
Commissioner Boyd.
Here. We have quorum. I will note for everybody in the audience that we are being recorded both on our live stream, which is being broadcast to YouTube for any member of the public to view, as well as being archived for viewing anytime in the future, as well as internally for our use in compiling the minutes. Row officer reports and comments. No row officers with us today. Any public comments? You never know.
We're good.
First time for everything. Fiscal and contractual, we have no advertising for bids and proposals, no receipt of bids and proposals, no fiscal reports, no report on quotes, just the warrant registers for June 16th and June 19th, both of 2020. I'll give my colleagues a minute to review those. Then I'll take a motion to accept the warrant register.
So moved.
I'm almost ready to second. If you bear with me just a second, please. I will second Commissioner Spielvogel's motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Questions on the motion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Up next, we have approval of the Tuesday, June 16th, 2020 meeting minutes. Again, I'll give my colleagues a minute to look over those, and then I'll take a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll move for adoption of the minutes.
And I will second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Questions on the motion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. We have one written communications from International Metal Reclamation Company, LLC, for a Part B permit renewal application in the Elwood City Borough. The notice reads, enclosed is a solid waste permit number PA, I'm not going to read the number, for the operation of your hazardous waste treatment and storage permit issued in accordance with Article 5 of the Solid Waste Management Act. The permit was revised following INMETCO's April 4th, 2019 appeal of the permit issued on March 5th, 2019. Compliance with the terms and conditions set forth in the permit is mandatory. You have the right to file an appeal as to the terms and conditions of the permit. This is a regular action. We received numerous notices related to permitting in Lawrence County. We have no approval authority over these notices that we received relating to permits, but by law, individuals and companies applying for certain permits are required to submit notices to the Board of Commissioners. But I will take a motion to accept and file correspondence.
So moved.
Second.
Hearing a motion and a second, is there any discussion? Hearing none. Questions on the motion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. We have no proclamations and certificates today. We have, unless Amy has any staff reports, I'm assuming you're going to talk later on in the agenda. So we'll move on to commissioner reports and comments. Looks like I'm on deck today. The only thing I'll say is Joe just informed me that we have been approved for the Human Services Block Grant, which is phenomenal. I know that that's something that Joe's been working hard on for the past at least few months, and we're looking forward to structuring more planning and more efforts to consolidate functions with regards to that grant. But what that grant effectively does is it gives us more flexibility in how we fund our different human services functions. So right now, you have services that are siloed. So for example, MHDS, you have a certain pot of money that you're allowed to spend on X, Y, and Z. Instead of having to spend the money on X, one pot of money on X, one pot of money on Y, and one pot of money on Z, if the need in the community is greater in Z, we're able to shift funds to provide community-oriented solutions that are tailored to the needs of Lawrence County. But I was very excited to see that that was approved. Commissioner Vogler, you're on deck next.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have no comments today.
And Commissioner Spielvogel.
Just again, complete that census. Very, very important. It affects, I know more every time, remind me to talk about the census. You do count, and every bit of every person, we have to get those census forms filled out online through the mail. People will probably start knocking on the doors now that they're able to be out and about. I'm not sure when that will start up. We actually have somebody coming in, Joe, I'm gonna put you on the spot, the date.
The 31st.
The 31st of July, we have somebody from the US Census will be here at the courthouse to assist in filling out forms, so.
Do you know why they are like I did mine online and then got like 10 messages. I wasn't getting notifications that I was missing calls. Then I got on, like I had 10 messages from them, just verifying the information, but I had already done it online. Now they stopped and I never did answer.
Okay, I know, I did mine online and I got 1 or 2, but then it was it. Well, who knows? As long as they stopped, I guess.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, very good. Thank you for filling out that census. It does, it affects a lot of our services and representation in government entities. So fill out those census forms. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Spielvogel. We'll move on to the new business section of our agenda. First on deck, we have resolutions from our planning department. First one being a resolution for discussion and possible approval to adjust the existing FY 2020 budget to account for additional revenue from CDBG fund job delays. Amy, you want to talk a little bit about what's going on?
We have 2 projects out of our CDBG line items. One was the Elwood City and Bell Avenue, the paving job, and the other one is the Shenango Township sewer. We had originally planned that these jobs would be done, so when we worked the budget numbers, we actually zeroed them out. Well, then there were job delays, and then COVID happened, so after April 1st, we're able to make those adjustments. So there's 2, and again, those are all my funds that are reimbursed through CDBG. Again, Bell Avenue, which is like for $40,972.96. And then the Shenango Township sewer, there actually was some dollars budgeted for it, but we're short about $4,252, which is what the project cost is in our line item with DCED. So these are all reimbursed through CDBG, no county dollars. We just need to put them in there so we can make payments.
I'm assuming the job delays were due to the coronavirus outbreak.
Well, because that didn't happen until 2020, but we were hoping they'd be done in 2019, but just the weather didn't cooperate for them. So, and actually Bell Avenue is done. So as soon as the budget amendment gets approved, we already have the purchase order done to pay them, and so we'll close that project out. So
Awesome.
Yep.
Any questions from my colleagues?
No.
All right, we'll make that resolution 2020-103. It's crazy that we're in the hundreds.
Great.
Up next, we have resolution for discussion and possible approval to adopt the Lawrence County Language Access Plan. Amy, what is that?
I ask myself that all the time. It's a requirement through DCD for our CDBG program. Because we have a small percentage of Amish, I think it's like 5%, I can't remember what the exact number is, in the New Wilmington, Pulaski area. When we advertise for anything in regards to CDBG, we have to do it in German. So this is just the county stating that we will follow and do everything we can to make any program under CDBG eligible, and also, notify them so that they're able to understand what we're doing.
So is that the threshold then? If 5%
I think
of
it's 5 something. Yeah, I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it's like 5 something. So like a lot of people, like out in Lancaster, they not only have to do it for the Amish, but they also have to do for
Hispanic.
I can't think of Spanish. They do the Spanish
For
population.
the Puerto Rican
Yeah,
population.
yeah.
We know where we are in terms of having to do that ourselves, because I know that.
I know, and
population-
I don't think we do, but like, cause I think a majority of, is that in the city of Newcastle?
Mhm.
And city of Newcastle, anybody that lives in the city of Newcastle is not eligible for the county's pot of money.
Oh, that's
So
right.
that's what I did.
Yes.
So when Tammy,
Right.
Sean Anderson and I were talking about that, and I told him you need to make sure you check on that.
Right.
And I don't think they're there yet, because I was talking to their consultant too, Janine from RER. RER is doing their CDBG, and she said that she doesn't think they're there yet. But I did tell them they needed to check on that.
Okay.
Yeah. So yes, we have to advertise in German.
If you look at the newspaper, if you look at the ads where anything is advertised, it's also in German. Look at it and see. I remember the first
It is,
time
yeah.
I looked at it,
I
it's in the
know.
newspaper. I looked at it like,
So we have to advertise.
oh my gosh, they printed it in German. Somebody made a big mistake somewhere,
No.
clicked the wrong number.
No, we
Who
don't.
translates that? We just plug the app into Google
Google.
Translate?
Google.
Wow.
The Google. I can translate in Google.
Yeah.
And actually, Word has it too. But, and I don't think though. I mean, I'm not sure, but they almost don't speak. It's not
No,
German. It's
they
Western.
don't.
I know.
I mean, they speak some.
But it's not. It's Western Germany or something. But there's you can't translate it, so
Yeah.
it's German, and it meets our requirements.
So is it,
Yeah.
It's not cheap to advertise in those ways.
well, thank God we can
No,
offset
no.
CDBG.
Well, yeah.
So is it 5% or more of population's primary language?
Yeah, it's 5% of so New Wilmington, 5%. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
got it. It's just interesting.
I know.
Don't forget, you got a few Amish down in Little Beaver Township as well.
Yeah, they're not that threshold though. But yeah, you're right. But 5% of our population, it's where Pulaski, New Wilmington,
Pulaski Township, Wilmington Township,
and then
got some in Hickory
Hickory
Township.
Township and New Beaver. Little Beaver.
Township. There's actually an Amish family in the Shannock Township.
Oh,
Is there?
Any comments from my
No.
colleagues? Any objection to putting this on for approval?
No objection.
4. And lastly, we have a resolution for discussion of possible approval of contract with Zelenkovsky Axelrod LLC to assist the Department of Planning and Community Development with the COVID-19 County Relief Block Grant Program. Amy?
So I was here last week for the, I'm gonna be here a lot, just so you guys know that. I was here last week,
That's okay.
for you guys to apply for the COVID-19 County Relief Block. That was submitted last Tuesday. We've already gotten word, they're starting the contracting process. So this is basically just a proposal from our auditors, and I'm gonna try and say what the name is. You said it very well.
That was the first time I've ever been able to pronounce it.
You did, you must have practiced.
I did.
I was trying to see if there's a way I can
Very,
do that.
well.
So this is just, they submitted, we met with them, they submitted a proposal to the commissioners. We'd like to utilize them to assist us when the time comes to administer this program. It's an hourly rate, and they will invoice us monthly. They will not do anything unless it's approved by the Board of Commissioners or we requested and asked permission from the commissioners. Everything will go through you guys. This is just to accept their proposal. It will end at the end of the year. And if we would need to extend it at all, then I would be back here again, so.
It's my understanding that the regulations associated with this block grant are so cumbersome and they're embedded in federal and state code
Yes.
to the point where it's extraordinarily helpful for the planning department and,
Right.
speaking for the Board of Commissioners, to have someone with a detailed and in-depth knowledge of those regulations. Because it's important to know that every dollar that we spend out of this grant, that is for a reason that what we might assume fits into the parameters of that grant, but if the state has a different interpretation, that's now a dollar that we owe back to the
Right.
state in debt.
Right.
And so this is a scenario where, number one, it enables us to have some surety when it comes to spending those dollars, that we're spending them in the right ways. And number two, Zelenkovsky Axelrod has contractors working with numerous other counties throughout the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and we're able to tap into the knowledge that they are going out to these other counties. What's Lancaster County doing? What's Crawford County doing? What's Washington County doing? Where we're able to sort of have this overhead of ideas of how to best spend these dollars. So I think it's twofold the benefits of
Absolutely.
this contract work. And like I think I mentioned before, it's paid for out of
Yes, we were to admin under the $7.7 million we're allowed to use, 2%.
Mhm.
2%, yeah.
154,000 and some change.
Yeah.
All right, any questions or comments?
No.
All right, we'll make that resolution 2020-015 unless there's an objection. Or 105. All right, thanks, Amy. You're welcome to stick around for the votes if you want to. If you have some other business you got to get to, we.
Thank you guys, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Only other thing that we have today on the agenda, I believe, is some administrative transfers. We have one from court administration office major to court administration equipment. And the rationale for this is there's funds needed for the photographer support renewal. So in the amount of $679 from office major to equipment maintenance. We have one request from our voter services department, we have officially two requests, but they're submitted on the same document. For meeting requirements for pandemic, which is basically getting us in adherence with all the new legislation that was passed. We had to take a number of different steps and spend a significant amount of dollars to make sure that we're, one, in compliance with all the state level legislation related to the regulation of elections, and two, we were able to have the election in a manner in which we were able to get the results back in a timely fashion. So here we're moving $2,000 from travel and training to staff overtime. And that, I think, as we noted on many occasions at the election board meetings, we had staff here late into the nights on weekdays, on weekends. They worked their asses off to make sure that our election was delivered. Then we have from office major equipment to Staples, $7,000. And again, that's just to meet requirements put forth by the state. And our last transfer is from our IT office, where we need $200 from office minor equipment to equipment maintenance. And that's for the Tyler maintenance system, which I guess that fund is out of money to be able to maintain that system. So we'll take, assuming there are no objections on any of those transfers.
I'll move to approve all of the transfer requests as submitted.
Awesome.
I will second.
Hearing a motion and a second, is there any discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same sign, motion carries. That being said, I'll take a motion to move resolutions 2020-103 through 2020-105 to the voting section of the agenda and amend the agenda as such.
So moved.
Second. Hearing a motion and a second, questions on the motion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same sign, motion carries. We'll go through these as expediently as possible, as we always strive to do. Resolution 2020-103. Now therefore be resolved by Lawrence County Board of Commissioners to amend 2020 Lawrence County budget as follows: increasing CDBG fund revenue account community development block grant, not to read that number, by $45,224.96. Increasing CDBG fund expenditure account Elwood City Bell Ave by $40,972.96. Increasing CDBG fund expenditure account Shenango Township Sewer by $4,252.00. I'll take a motion to pass that resolution.
So moved.
Second. Hearing a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Chris, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Resolution 2020-104. Now therefore be resolved by Lawrence County Board of Commissioners that the Lawrence County Language Access Plan is hereby adopted. I'll take a motion on that.
So moved.
Second. Hearing a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Chris, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Resolution 2020-105. Now therefore be resolved by Lawrence County Board of Commissioners. The Lawrence County Commissioners hereby accept the proposal submitted by Zelenkovsky Axelrod LLC to assist with the administration of Lawrence County COVID-19 County Relief Block Grant Program. I'll take a motion on that.
So moved.
Second.
Hearing a motion and a second, is there any discussion? Hearing none, questions on the motion, Chris, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. We have no further business to conduct today. We do have another commissioners meeting scheduled for 10 a.m. on Tuesday, June 30th in this room. Anything I'm missing in terms of announcements?
Just want to note, and I made reference to it last week, but I will be in Harrisburg on county business
Yes.
next Tuesday, so I'm hopeful you're both able to be here and transact county's business.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I think is what I like to note every time it's brought up. Thank you for your service on the CCAP board.
Absolutely, yes.
Thank you. Any more public comments? Nothing?
Nice to see you ladies again. Yes, West Bank, thank you.
All right, in that case, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Hearing a motion and a second, is there any discussion? Hearing none, questions on the motion, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And all opposed, the same sign, motion carries. Lawrence County Board of Commissioners is adjourned.